I know, you might be asking, well, I thought this was a music channel. Well, I did too up until a week ago. But you know, now we're here and we're just gonna go with it. So, yeah, we're also in a different location than before. See, look, we even have a new background. I don't know if you can see this, but there is some messy bed and towel and messy bookshelf. Very good background choice. I know I really tried to tidy up. I didn't, but you know, I did in my mind, and I'm kind of lazy, and it's just not worth my time. I'm here for like 2 days, okay? So, if you've read the title, you can see that we're actually doing something different, very different today. We're going to be reviewing the first episode of Hannah Montana. I know, Hannah Montana. Yeah, so you know, if you're not familiar with Hannah Montana was really one of the golden era TV shows, just because, you know, it existed during my childhood. Haha. As you know, my childhood makes the best things. So I just wanted to reevaluate my nostalgia of the show, and really see how it holds up to, you know, other really staples of today. You know, other Disney original shows that were really, really big back then. You know, the masterpiece that was Cory in the House. Really, I'd be really surprised if it was able to have the cultural relevance that Cory in the House has today. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Stop. So the episode starts with Miley getting ready for her next concert, but her best friend Lily calls, and we get a view into the first major conflict of the episode.
Hello? Great! Lily alert in 18 seconds.
She's your best friend, Miley. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to tell her you're Hannah Montana.
I picked later.
9 seconds, get the juice.
Got it!
Good. 3, 2.
1! Yes, you just landed 2 tickets to the hottest concert in town! Miley, you and I being your best friend, are going to see the one, the only Hannah Montana! Woo! You're not screaming! Why aren't you screaming?
Oh, believe me, she's screaming on the inside.
So from this scene, we get like our first glimpse into the character Lily, and just from like first viewing, you know, I'm just like, this character is a jerk. Okay, you may be asking, well, she's just like a normal teen girl, but like, what the fudge? Like, she rolls in with her probably dirty skateboard into what can only be described as like a mansion beach house. Like, what is wrong with you? Also, where is she riding in from? We get like a outside view of the house afterwards, and it's like there's no, like, she's just rolling off from the porch. It's not like she could have skated all the way here, unless like she was jumping the whole time, which doesn't make any sense at all. But not to mention, she rolls in literally screaming, like literally screaming at the top of her lungs. Like, it hurt my ears at one point, okay? Like, it's not okay. Apparently, the big fuss was that Lily had 2 extra tickets to see Hannah Montana. And of course, knowing that Miley is Hannah, we, the audience, and Miley are like, oh, this is a problem, yes. Yeah, so it's a problem. Right, so the next time we see Lily and Miley, they're at school now, and they're talking about the events that occurred before again. So their conversation ended up being interrupted by this guy named Johnny, who Miley seems to have a crush on.
Hey, Miley. How's it going?
Pretty good. Just getting some ketchup for my veggie burger. I see you like mayonnaise. Never tried that on a veggie burger. And maybe I should, but not today because of the ketchup thing going on. You know what a lot of people don't know is it's also a wonderful moisturizer. Here. Isn't that lovely?
Moisturizer. You're pretty funny. Oh, my hand does feel softer.
Okay, before I even talk about really Miley's actions there, I just want to talk about Corbin Bleu, okay? Like, I have not seen Corbin Bleu in anything in like forever. And I don't know, it's because like, oh, maybe I'm just not watching the right shows or like the right media or anything like that. But like, I just don't understand. Like, the guy was in like High School Musical, and like he was a really great supporting character there. And like, you know, you got Jump In, that other Disney Channel original movie. But like, yeah, I just really want to see more Corbin Bleu in my life. And like, I was literally just talking about this like a few months ago. Like, you know, where did Corbin Bleu go? You know, there was like this one time, right, at the dining hall where I was like, oh wow, that's blue cheese pizza. And I was like, blue, Corbin Bleu. And I was like, where is Corbin Bleu? And then someone behind me was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking of Corbin Bleu too. And I was like, wow, Corbin Bleu like really just brings people together, you know? So I just want to see more of him. I want to see more of him. Like I don't know. Like, Corbin Bleu is just, I don't know if he was the best actor, but like still, it's just something about him, you know? Maybe it's just his energy probably. But yeah, bit of a tangent. So Miley at this point starts acting really weird because, oh, it's my crush. Oh, you know, like she starts like not paying attention while she's getting the ketchup for her hot dog or whatever, and it's just like, what the heck? But like, you know, I think lots of people just brush this one off as saying like, oh, haha, it's like the haha trope, haha, act stupid in front of my crush trope, right? But I think the writers went for something a lot more meaningful in this scene. The writers seem to actually be building a criticism on the idea of multitasking. Multitasking is something that's seen as like, you know, oh, it's the norm, yo. Oh, yo, it's okay, yo. But like, really, it's not something that's really all that productive. And really, Corbin and Lily's innate confusion to Miley's multitasking and trying to get the ketchup and talk to Corbin at the same time is really just trying to subconsciously tell us like, hey, this is not okay. This is not okay. And really an extreme example. Miley's extension of the ketchup lotion to Corbin really act to show the infectious nature of it all. That by saying that multitasking is okay, you're just passing it down on, and people are just being easily tricked, as Corbin was. You know, it's just not okay. I mean, we all know deep down that ketchup will never be as effective as real lotion. But, you know, we sometimes just get caught in this way of thinking that, you know, ketchup tastes great. Ketchup looks great. I mean, actually, ketchup looks kind of questionable, no lie. And, you know, the smells of ketchup is actually really, you know, like, I don't know if I really want to eat this. You know, it's very concentrated citric acid. It's, like, kind of nasty. But still, you know, we just get caught in this idea that, oh, wow, ketchup is so edible. And it's like, why can't it be used on my hands, right? You know, it's a cycle. It's cyclical thinking that we just get caught in. And like, I really love how the writers just were able to just like really almost transparently just fit this message in. Just like subverted all my expectations, honestly. So Lily convinces Miley to approach Corbin and confess to him, I guess. Like, it's not really elaborated on, but it seems inferred. So yeah, that's happening now. So they go look for seats right next to him, and we get introduced to a couple more characters.
Seriously, dude, it really does soften your skin.
Hi, Johnny. Isn't that just too bad? Oh, but don't worry. There are seats over there by the trash cans. At the losers' table? Ooh!
oos. You said like that oos, like oos, like that high key got me. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I legitimately love that. I love it so much. I don't even care if it's like from like the bullies or whatever, but it's just hilarious. Like it didn't have as much impact when Miley and Lily did it, but when the bullies did it, it just clicked. You know, it was like wow. You know, it reminds me of like an evil version of not evil. I mean, it's not evil per se, but like, you know, a mean version of like what's that? A crazy funky junkie that with this head slightly, you know, like from Wizardry Place. Like I love that. I love it so much. Yeah. So all in all, these two girls end up being complete jerks to Lily and Miley, just like swiping, like they come to like Mach 10 just out of nowhere, just to steal the seats. Like how long had they had to be waiting, like just to swipe those seats? You know, it's like what the heck, like it's like this real stupid. I'm gonna tell you that. Our boy Johnny, by the way, who's like right next to them, doesn't really react to the bullying that's occurring by to Miley and Lily. He's just like cool with it, I guess. Like he's just talking to his friends this whole time. He's like, oh, okay, I guess. Do you really want that? I don't know, but I guess she does. So it's her problem. So yeah. Yeah. So on my second time viewing this, I realized that maybe that's actually what they're going for. They're trying to maybe again. On my second time viewing this, I was like, well, what are the writers going for here? But I think it makes sense just by the established themes of multitasking versus single tasking. Johnny is obviously single tasking, not taking any other sensory inputs from or trying to do anything else besides just talking to his friends. He's just completely focused. And I think that's just really characteristic. I really love how they kept going with it. They're like, there's no necessarily cons to him by just staying focused like this, and I think his actions are totally justified. Actually, you know what? I thought he was being a jerk before, by really ignoring the whole situation, but I think he was just so focused, as one should be, you know, when you're single tasking. So the journey continues, and Miley and Lily find different seats, blah blah, blah, and we are introduced to one of the most interesting characters in the show, for sure. Oliver Oaken, yeah.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Oliver Oaken, and may I say you two are smoking.
In it your dreams.
I'm counting on that. Hey, Slick. Hey. Oh, yeah, she wants me. Hannah Montana is a goddess. I worship at her feet. In fact, FYI, someday I'm gonna be Mr. Hannah Montana. Gonna watch her every minute of every day. Protect her from any obsessed fans. Every night I'll shampoo and condition that beautiful blonde hair.
Oliver, I say this because I care about you. Get some help!
Upon first seeing the scene, I was like, okay, this kid's a bit creepy. Not gonna lie. I don't know, the actor seems really good that he's able to make this character seem so creepy, I guess. Like, I feel like he's just able to perfectly encapsulate both the patheticness and narcissism of this character so well. If the goal is to be not insanely, but reasonably creepy, I think he's done it. He has me sold. Not gonna lie, he has me sold. At this point, the next scene is the concert, and we get a glimpse after the concert of a fan signing in which we see our boy Johnny again. A bit of time goes by, the fan signing ends, and we find out that Lily and Oliver have snuck into Hannah Montana's dressing room. So Miley tries to hide her face from Lily, so she won't get caught. And of course, shenanigans ensue because this is Disney Channel. Eventually, Oliver also gets in through the window, and we get this little scene of him.
What about me? I'm the one who loves you. You're much paler in person.
Yeah, I am. You know what? Gosh, it was really fun meeting you guys, but I really gotta go.
Wait! Can't I even shampoo and condition your beautiful blonde hair?
No. But you can take this towel.
Hannah Montana's towel. Okay!
So far, I feel like I could pin an emotion to like each character whenever I see them on screen. Like Billy, it'd probably be like pretty neutral. Miley, it'd just be like meh, she's not much. She's like doesn't really put that much of an impact, but she's the main character, so it's like, okay. Lily, it'd have to be like over the top, like endurance sort of thing. Jackson, I would even say like, almost funny at times. But Oliver is just yikes. He's the embodiment of yikes. There's something about this character that just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like whenever I see him on the screen, I don't feel safe. I feel like that's a problem, but yeah, I'm sure he gets better. But like, as a first impression, this is pretty bad. So, surprise, surprise, Miley ends up getting caught. So Lily is understandably betrayed, and she sits down with Miley to just, I guess attempt to have a heart-to-heart. Before Jackson walks in.
That's right. I happen to be real tight with Hannah Montana. Hey, Hannah. Thought my lady here could use a little souvenir.
Jackson, get out of here.
For you. Told you we were tight.
Regardless of how I find Jackson, I think the writers are making a really good call out through his actions, people just barging into rooms like that's just completely insensitive and rude, especially the dressing room. Like, what are you doing, Jackson? Like, people like Jackson just barge into the room. It's just not okay. It's just like, why would you do that, And the fact that Miley just throws a piece of toilet paper at Jackson is just really meant to, I guess, convey the idea that, Jackson and people like him are just like, comparable to almost fecal matter. But, let me make this clear, these are not my words. I'm just interpreting, really what the writers seem to suggest. So they go back to Miley's house, and Lily does literally the one thing that Miley was afraid she was gonna do, and that was use Hannah Montana as like a crux, be like, like assert her dominance over the school with it, and it's like, no. So like, Lily's just a jerk, right? I was right? But yeah. So at this point, another day passes, and we ended up with the fam back together again.
He's finally cracked.
You know what, son? I like it, but I don't think it goes with the shoes.
Okay, fine. You take your little cracks, but you weren't here, and Fermin needed help with the dress, and he said he'd pay me. So this is what you get.
Ooh. Oh, next time try something with sleeves and deodorant.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, so as the scene continues, Jackson starts flaunting his pits as like a sort of joke, but I really don't think this should be taken so lightly. Fun fact, I go to college and I have to sit in lecture halls sometimes next to people I don't want to sit next to, okay? And sometimes those people just smell absolutely atrocious. Like, I'll be just sitting down peacefully, and then this person will come and sit next to me, and it'll be like this smell of rotting cheese and sweaty socks just mixed into one, and it's just like, I didn't ask for this, you know, just put on deodorant, okay? Like, if you're watching this and you don't put on deodorant, like, don't do that. Like, that should be a crime. I think you should go to jail for that, honestly. As you would expect, you know, it's nearing the end of the episode. Lily and Miley end up making up, and Hannah Montana honestly surpassed my expectations. I didn't really have any to begin with, but it was a lot better than I thought it was. If I were to say Cory in the House is like a 10 out of 10, Hannah Montana is like a 5 maybe. It's okay, but it's just not... I think where it's really lacking in is the story department. I think one of the best things from Cory in the House was just that every character was given their own sort of character arc to really, you know, explore their place in the world. And there was a lot of world building, you know, associated with that, that really made it believable. In Hannah Montana's case, especially, at least not from the first episode, we just don't get that, the sense of depth that we're more familiar with in that sense. So, well, that's the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And, you know, yeah, give suggestions for what videos or what things you want me to review next. But yeah, I'll try to post videos every week, if not every 2 weeks.